Hi there, welcome to Boat's Memory Method, and today we are going to talk about frontotemporal dementia. This is a very interesting dementia to me. There are three types of frontotemporal dementia. There is the behavioral variant, and we'll talk about behaviors in a little bit. There is the progressive aphasia with movement disorders. Aphasia means a loss of language. And then there is the mixed frontotemporal dementias, which means it's a combination of behavioral or loss of movement. It can be impacted by Parkinson's disease, Lewy bodies disease. It can be impacted by head trauma or CTE, which is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. So frontotemporal dementia is a very difficult dementia to diagnose because of the different challenges that this person may present with, and it doesn't look the same every day. For diagnostics, we would love to have some imagery, a MRI, a CT scan, a PET scan that can certainly help us understand where in the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe. So frontal lobes here are your orange area, so it's the front of your brain, and then the temporal lobe in the brain here are the yellow areas, and those are the areas right above your earlobe. Right here is your temporal brain or segment of your brain. Your frontal lobe houses all your rules and regulations. It tells me what is expected from me in a certain situation, whether I'm driving, whether I'm presenting to a crowd, whether I'm parenting my children, or whether I am in a situation where I'm working with a client with pain. My frontal lobe is going to help me regulate my responses appropriately to what the situation calls for. My temporal lobe is where I comprehend what people say or what people show me. It's how I comprehend verbal instructions, so what I hear, or visual instructions, things that I read, or signs and symbols. So you can see that when we have a breakdown or impact in the frontal lobe or the temporal lobe through either injury or changes of cells, that's going to eliminate my ability to respond correctly to my environment. Therefore, I may be labeled as someone with difficult or challenging behaviors because I'm not responding in a way that we are used to or that is demanded by the environment. My responses are driven by my emotional center, which is my pea-sized amygdala in the middle of the hypothalamus. That is my survival brain. If I can no longer depend on my frontal lobe to help regulate my responses to my environment, I am going to fall back to my emotional brain to help me survive situation to situation. If I cannot understand what you're telling me because you're giving too much information, you're not giving a demonstration or a cue, environmental cue, or I cannot read the information that you're giving me, yes, I am going to be frustrated, which again is going to drive my challenging behaviors because I have no clue what a person or the environment is expecting from me. So over the long run, with somebody with frontotemporal dementia, their needs are not being met if we are not sensitive to meet them where they're at. So what do we need to look for? A person living with frontotemporal dementia not only may have challenging behaviors, they will have difficulty comprehending the verbal word or the written word. They might just say, I don't understand. Or what did you say? A lot of times we want to fix their hearing or we want to fix their vision, but it's more than that. It's the ability to process that information that is being affected in the temporal lobe. Also, this person may have personality changes due to the changes of their perception, their ability not to be able to respond to rules and regulations in their environment. They have no filters anymore. But one thing that you may see is that this person still makes memories. Short-term memory loss is not the first aspect that's being affected, as we may see in vascular dementia or in Alzheimer's dementia. So with that being said, this person is making some limited memories, which makes it confusing to us as a care partner because we think this person may know what's going on because they do have some memory. So frontotemporal disease can be very challenging. I would urge you to seek a good diagnostics to understand which part of the brain is impacted. So if we keep that in mind when we're entering into the environment of someone living with frontotemporal dementia, we can structure our approach in a way where we slow down, incorporate a demonstration or a diagram or a sample, and limit the verbal information and the visual information we're giving somebody, allow them response time, understanding that they may get frustrated because they don't understand what we want from them, and allow them to discover with us how to meet their needs. But for that, we need to be willing to meet them where they're at in the moment. Thank you for joining our session. I hope we have brought you some hope. And please seek resources. There are so many resources out there. You can follow us on YouTube, Boat's Memory Method. Please put questions in the comments so that we can answer them for you in the best way possible. Also visit our website, boatsmemorymethod.com. That's BOTES, where you can sign up for our newsletter and free webinars. We also are on Instagram and Facebook, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.